Did Fox Soul's TGIF get canceled? Plus, Asia Wilson breaks a WNBA record. Then we discuss Rickey Smiley's new book, plus Kiki Palmer's girl band. Welcome to the Weekend Critics, and welcome back to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary, reviews, and tabloid news. I'm your host, Patricia Hartley. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Happy Father's Day, critics. It's Sunday, June 15th, 2024. Hey, critics, it's time to chronicle. Celebrating is Bad Boys 4. They have made $1 billion at the box office. Jay-Z and Alicia Keys, they are also celebrating 1 billion streams for their song Empire State of Mind. So a lot of 1 billions going on. And in yesterday's episode, I talked about the fact that Jay-Z was performing. He was performing at the Hall of Fame induction event for Tom Brady. So yeah, Jay-Z came out. It wasn't with Beyonce this time. It was actually with a performance. This was the thing. Although folks was like, "Oh my gosh, Jay-Z's here." There's a video, forgot the source, but there's a video that I saw online of somebody panning the audience, and then there not being as many folks excited about the fact that Jay-Z was there. Maybe they didn't know his music, maybe they were just being modest, whatever the case may be. Jay-Z did come out, y'all, and it was not with Beyonce, and they just want to give a special congratulations to, of course, Alicia Keys and Jay-Z, because their song just reached that 1 billion streams, and that within itself is just its own thing, right? And again, if you did miss it, Meg the Stallion, she showed up in Houston, Texas, doing what she do, being a Houston hottie and bringing all the hotties along with her. So with that being said, let me just go ahead and get into that public service announcement, or should I say public library announcement. The public service announcement is actually the song that Jay-Z sang at Tom Brady's event when he came out. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hov. And if you catch the episode that I did on yesterday, I also shared that was one of the songs that Tom Brady came out to all the time when it came to him in football. But this time, as a fan stated, he just came out to Jay-Z actually singing the song. So congratulations as well to Tom Brady on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And now for our public service announcement. Here at the Critic Chronicles, our goal is to provide quality but juicy content from websites, digital magazines, and tabloids, most of which are sourced from our public libraries. Research from the National Library of Medicine show that there are an estimated 17,000 public libraries nationwide, totaling 4 million visits each day. Public libraries are civic organizations that are committed to providing invaluable resources beyond books that are free and open to the public. Get your library card to access thousands of resources today. And it's time for critical news you can use. Up first, I want to talk about Rickey Smiley, giving a special shout out over there to Rickey Smiley and the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. I have a thing, if y'all can't tell, I have a thing for radio personalities. I love what they do. I really do. I worked in radio as well for like about 4 years. So yeah, I have a thing for radio personalities. Right. Okay. And that's no different from Rickey Smiley over there. A comedian and now author, which I think he's actually authored stuff before and co-authored some things with some other people. But this book, however, it's called Sideshow, Sideshow. I don't know why I spelled it. I think that was for my own purposes. It's called Living with Loss and Moving Forward with Faith. Well, Rickey Smiley, if you remember, he lost his son, Brandon, back in January of 2023. According to an interview he did, the son's girlfriend gave Rickey Smiley a call and said that his son had essentially OD'd. He booked a flight to the city in which his son was in, and not long along the route, he then got a call from Taylor, which is reportedly the younger sister of the son, Brandon. And in fact, Brandon had passed away. Rickey stated that while his son had a history of drug use, he had been to rehab and even had recently, prior to his passing, maybe about a month before, he had even been baptized. I definitely hate these circumstances, and I'm glad that you're using this as a vessel to get it out, Rickey. I wish our girl Monique would have done the same thing, just because I don't think that people realize the value of just kind of getting it out in whatever way that might look like. It doesn't always have to look like a book. Sometimes it may look like a new hobby, right? But it's very important in terms of that grieving period. Whether it's the death of someone, the death of a career as well. It can be the death of maybe even a relationship that you thought that you were going to have forever. And that person is still living. Sometimes those are the most painful. It's the people that sometimes are right here on earth that we hadn't been able to make up with. Giving a special shout out and nothing but love over to Rickey Smiley. And Keke Palmer, she has a brand new girl band. Did y'all see that? She just released a brand new photo. It introduces a brand new girl band, and the girl band is called Diva Girl, but they spell girl Gurl. According to WHAS.com, and yes, you can find this on our Instagram, but I wanted to find a little bit more in-depth information. The band, it includes 4 ladies, and of course that includes Keke. Their first single is called #SOB. It is set to be out on June the 21st. Now that's only in a few days. So the critics in the comments, they were a little surprised, I'd say. WHAS reports that one critic wrote, "What? Bring on the harmonies." While another said, "I'm sad. I'm confused, but I'm seated." I'm interested to see how this goes, of course, for Keke. Remember, she hosted the 2020, MTV Awards? It was like the pandemic year or so, right? I thought she did a fantastic job hosting the awards. I think it was wasn't it an outside event? Same thing as with her Soul Train hosting event that she did. You can check that out. The Soul Train hosting event that she did, you can check that out actually somewhere. It's actually on YouTube. I don't remember the exact resource. But yeah, shout out to Keke. She's always been a person who's been in her creative bag. She always finds something to do. She always got a job or 2 or 3 or a business or now a baby. Whatever the case may be, Keke knows how to stay booked and busy. We'll say it like that. She said the following statement: "When you create generational wealth within underserved communities, you create wealth within your entire economy. My hope and my desire is to teach people the skills that I have, to teach them how to brand themselves, how to be entrepreneurs, how to work within a system, but also use that system to create something that's unique to them." So I think that was sort of her response to folks who think she's doing a lot and maybe, she's done so much, so why do this? But this is what she wants to do. Be sure that you look out for her book that's going to be set to be coming out this fall, and the book is called Master of Me. Now, I spoke a little bit earlier about A'ja Wilson, and she just broke a WNBA record. I know that the Las Vegas Aces, they haven't been performing this season as hoped, but I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on the fact that Miss A'ja Wilson is in her bag, as the basketball girls say these days. She actually had her 8th straight 25-point game, according to Yahoo Sports, and this makes Wilson the first player to score 25 or more points in 8 straight games in the WNBA regular season history. So congratulations to Miss Wilson. ESPN reports that Wilson is a 2-time WNBA MVP and I'd say a hell of a leader on and off the court. She is also an author and has a book called Dear Black Girls, which was just released this year. Now, in that book, she chronicles her life lessons, things she's kind of learned from the sport of basketball in real life, all of the things. There is also another free library platform called Libby. All right. I'm saying that just because I have a point, I promise. While the platform is you have a lesser hold time than what you have for something like Hoopla. Like Hoopla books are 21 days for my library. And then though when it comes to the Libby, it's only about 7 days. So you really do have to be ready to, read the book and get on top of it immediately. I don't know. Am I the only one? I have a tendency to, if you tell me I have, a certain amount of books to check out, I'll typically check out a couple at a time, like sometimes I'll like skim through it and look through all of the stuff, but sometimes I just want to check out all of my things at the same time. So if I got 10 to check out, I'll check out all of them. So no, I don't like the 7 days, but 7 whole days. I definitely remember. That song helps me to remember as well. Moving on to the final thing that I want to talk about is Fox Soul. Oh my gosh, y'all, there's so much drama that seems to have unfolded over there at Fox Soul. I guess that's where I thought just last week. And critics, feel free to comment down below if you listen to Funky Dineva. Funky Dineva said that we shouldn't talk about other YouTubers. I thought that that's what he said. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. I know what he meant by that, but I think that this happened and it was very unexpected. If you missed it, here is the rundown. Now, Fox Soul's TGI Friday is hosted by Al Reynolds, Claudia Jordan, and also Armand Wiggins, who replaced Funky Dineva. Remember? Armand just replaced him like around February, March of this year. They was kind of doing like a little bit of a test run. Come to find out, after watching some of these videos, they actually wanted T.S. Madison, and the offer went to her. However, what ended up happening was she declined the offer, and then they offered it to Armand. Now, if the streets are saying what they say, and the streets are true about what they saying over there, all right. Side note: if you watch Funky Dineva as well this past week, specifically, because now we're on a new week. This past week, he was doing just this thing where he was like calling people live. He was like, y'all want me to call such and such? Y'all want me to call, such and such. And I think the first time it was maybe Dr. Heavenly from Loving Married to Medicine. And then you have, I think the next time it was maybe like Quad. Now, nothing happened and nobody answered the phone, right? So one of them was on a Tuesday, the next one was on a Wednesday. Now we on Thursday. Because Funky only comes on Monday through Thursday. So now we're on Thursday. So on Thursday, Funky Dineva's at the end of his show. He's talking about Teyana Taylor and all of the things that are going on. And he gets interrupted with a call from Al. Okay. Now, Al, again, is the host from the Fox Soul show. And in the middle of this thing, but in the middle of basically his live show, Al said the following.
Listen, hold on before you talk. No, I'm on live. You need to hear this on live. Hold on, people can hear you. I don't give a fuck. When I tell you go back and watch TGIF tonight, go back and watch TGIF tonight. What happened? Go back and watch TGIF tonight, and you tell me if I don't have a reason. Ooh, you filming me? I told you was live. Oh, my bad. Go back. Hey, friend. Go back and watch TGIF tonight and call me back. All right, bye. Child.
So that is where you can hear, that's actually directly from Funky Dineva's YouTube channel, in which you can hear Al Reynolds interrupting him this past, and I just want to make sure that I have the date correct, Thursday, June the 13th, telling him to listen to the Fox Soul show. So if you watch Fox Soul airs Monday now through, it seems like Saturday. They may do some pre-recording, specifically maybe on Thursday, Friday, Saturday show. I'm not really clear on exactly what the schedule looks like, but I do know that the only day of the week that they don't typically come on is actually on Sunday. That was also reportedly a frustration that Funky Dineva had, is the fact that they weren't going to be getting paid anymore, but then they wanted to increase the time in terms of them doing the shows. But that has nothing to do really with what's going on here. The show Fox Soul apparently has a tradition where they roast each other on their birthdays. Okay, now if you heard my previous episode from yesterday, you know that I am totally against. I've lived long enough, sweetheart, to never say never. But there's some things in life you got to say no to, and it has to be no, and it got to be a permanent no. And I think talking about your colleagues in the workplace, that's too dangerous in order to chance. Opinion only. Now, when it was time for Al Reynolds to roast Armand, he did not, in my opinion, exactly roast him. In fact, let's take a listen. This footage is courtesy of Neek at Night. Let's take a listen. Again, this is Al Reynolds roasting Armand.
gather around for a moment to celebrate and slightly roast our birthday star, the fabulous 36-year-old YouTuber who keeps us all on our toes. Now, turning 36 is a big deal, Armand. They say with age comes wisdom, but in your case, I think it just means more controversial hot takes and viral video moments. But seriously, beneath those takes and videos is a person who's unapologetically themselves, and that's something that I know I admire, and all our soulmates, and Claudia does too. Happy birthday, friend, and I wish you all the best on your 36th birthday.
Oh, you could have came harder than that. You should have left the night at the. You supposed to leave it off. It makes you dumb.
So we just heard that was Al roasting Armand, and even Armand himself was like, "What? That was weak." In my opinion, that wasn't even a roast. That was really just more of a toast. Instead of a roast, sweetheart, that was just a toast. I felt like everything was something that you could say even to your parent. To be honest with you, that's just how endearing it seemed like that what would consider to be a roast could be labeled as. Then, of course, Armand had his time to roast as well. And let's also take a listen to how Armand determined that he was going to equate what a roast was or what it looked like.
Birthday, Al, you're a man of many talents, some of which include being messy, causing drama, and having a knack for making our workplace feel like a reality TV show. Al's got a unique ability to smile in your face, snap a picture, and go behind your back and talk about you to your coworker that he claims he hates. It's like he's got a PhD in two-faced study. Okay. Due to Al's special relationship with management and his hypersensitivity, we are not allowed to talk about his failed marriage. So even though he's brought it up many times, I'll steer clear of that topic to keep my job. Now, but wait, there's more. Al fancies himself as the facts guy, but somehow he never seems to get the actual facts right. He's also a talk show host who's supposed to have all the strong opinion, but the guy can't form a thought without his notes. Seriously. I've seen grocery store lists with more spontaneous insight. And let's not forget his legendary struggle with names and words. Al, it's successful, not successful. It's like watching a toddler trying to pronounce spaghetti. Oh, and how could I forget Al's clout chasing antics? He's got all these celebrities friends, but the best part, none of these celebrities actually know they're supposed to be friends with him. As if that wasn't enough. Al is currently on a mission to get our talk show canceled. His nasty, childish, slightly jealous attitude is working overtime to torpedo our show. It's like he's auditioning for a soap opera villain role. But despite all the chaos, let's not forget it's your birthday, Al. Okay? So here's to you. May your future be as drama-free as your past has been drama-filled. Happy birthday, Al!
That was ratchet, and I enjoyed every second of it. Thank you, Armand. Thank you.
Okay, so we then just heard Armand actually then roast Al, and we heard Al respond and say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." But if you see the video, you can see that Al is actually turning red below his eyes down. He turns red. I'm not sure if just in that moment he just wanted to pretend, but yeah, it was kind of really, one of those sort of moments. But additionally, after all of these things came out, Al then, of course, gave a call to the Funky Dineva. The show aired. I can't remember if it was airing like almost kind of simultaneously at the same time, which I do believe it was kind of simultaneously at the same time. You notice that Al actually interrupts Funky Dineva and makes it seem like it's such an emergency. In terms of the show that was on this past Thursday, that was the show that comedian Lou Nell was on. Now, in this episode, they specifically talk about sexuality, and I personally, opinion only, believe that sexuality it's depending on the conversation, a soft spot for Al. Not at all times, but at times, especially when it's specifically about him and his sexuality, I do think it can be a soft spot for him. Now, there is some speculation going on, but before we continue on with that speculation, as a result of Al getting upset, calling Funky Dineva, I have to say to you, I think this was the show that actually did it. This footage is actually courtesy of Make It Make Sense.
I'm standing on business. That's what I think. And guess what, y'all? Let me finish my sentence, Al.
Oh, Jesus. Can I say something?
You keep cutting me off, Al. I was in the middle of saying, that's why I was saying, you back on this again. Okay. That's why I was saying, Al, and all of y'all, we have a panel discussion. The question is your opinion. So you're totally entitled to have your opinion, Al. You can tell them. You can tell your truth when you're married.
I'm trying to have it. All I want to know, for me, in my opinion, is that I don't think it's this easy. That it could be like, oh, I want to, stand in my truth. I just feel like there's so many moving factors around this.
Right, because look, so have your opinion. I have mine.
No, but look, Al was married to Star.
That's true, but never told.
Talking about how gay he is on this show. Did you come out and expose yourself to Star when you first got married?
Oh my goodness! I have never been not truthful with anybody that I've been.
Oh, so Star knew she married a gay man.
I've talked about this on this platform before. Okay. I have always been very honest with all of my partners about my sexuality.
So again, we heard that comedian, and that is Lunel. She actually came on the show, and again, that was the show that actually has been pulled from Fox Soul, so it's no longer available. So you have to get sound bites from other YouTubers. That again referenced. I got that specifically from Make It Make Sense. And that was Lunel just sort of testing, in my opinion, sort of Al's whatever it might be. It's a soft spot for him to talk about his previous marriage or relationship with, it seems like, Star Jones. If you remember, she used to be one of the hosts of The View, and one of the reasons why she reportedly is no longer the host of The View anymore, or Barbara Walters let her go, was just because of the big wedding that she planned specifically with Al Reynolds. But Al had no idea that she was getting, I guess, a lot of sponsorship, right? So, now we got all of these Instagrammers and all of these folks that can get like all of these like sponsorships. Well, baby, Star Jones was doing it back in like 2002. Okay. And I said, I like to say now, Al, according to him, he said he had no idea that Star was doing that. So I want to be very clear about that part. But really, there was a combination of things, I'm sure. But the main thing, I think the icing on the cake, was the fact that Star Jones had that, had the wedding, and it was basically sponsored, and all these folks was there, and it was a whole big hoopla. But with that being said, Al, he was just frustrated about the show, and so he ended up giving Funky Dineva a call, and there have been some frustrations in the past on the show, and I think the roast did not help any of those past frustrations. The next thing that we're going to actually hear is Claudia Jordan, and Claudia Jordan actually went on live to just kind of respond to what was going on in terms of the show. So let's take a listen to this as well.
So I can't take anything down, but yeah, that episode has been taken down because I guess Al complained about it. So I had someone that had my back like that. What?
Okay, so you heard Claudia, and again, I'm only playing just kind of like a little bit of a basic clip of everything, but it seems like, I don't know if Al complained and then it was actually taken down, but a lot of people believe that the start of this actually was the roast. I don't think it was just the roast. There may have been a couple of other times, and of course, if I am able to find some of those sound bites, I will definitely find those and just kind of share that, of course, with y'all. But Fox Soul is over there going through it, y'all. They are going through it. And people are saying that they might be canceled just because of this particular episode. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. The reason why I'm glad the episode was taken down, because there was a part where Lunel was talking. And again, she was speaking hypothetically. She said she would never talk to nobody who was 14 and whatever. But there was a comment that was made about, like, not knowing somebody who's 14 and they look like they're 22 or something like that. So to be honest with you, it's not even just about what the mess of Fox Soul. If it was just the mess, I would have wanted them to keep it up. But I think it was just kind of a couple of topics that I felt was like, can y'all do a redo? Do that over. Just start it over. Still do it live, right? You just start the recording over. That's all you do. With that being said, y'all, if you missed Saturday's episode, you can still catch it. In yesterday's episode, we talked about Jay-Z's finally coming outside without Beyonce to perform at Tom Brady's Hall of Fame ceremony. Singer Tyla, she clarified her identity from her interview on The Breakfast Club, and also the Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kenya Moore. She's been let go from the show, y'all, and we detailed the past season behavior that's right on brand for the beauty queen. Thanks for tuning in to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary, reviews, and tabloid news. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.